Right? Permit me to introduce you to this book titled Cross-Examination Without Pitfalls. This book contains over 300 practical examination questions. It also contains step-by-step guide for young lawyers, law students, and litigators. So in this video, I'll be taking you through the table of content. This book consists of 16 chapters. Chapter 1, as you can see on the screen, we have cross-examination is not an interrogation. It has various subtopics, like here 1.1, what is cross-examination? 1.2, the first question every cross-examiner must ask himself or herself before cross-examining. 1.3, cross-examination is not a conversation. The witness is not your opponent. The difference between a question and cross-examination. Of course, chapter 2, I'll not be able to go through all the content in this video, so I'll just be skipping. Chapter 2, we have the psychology of the effective cross-examiner with subtopics as the first psychological battle is within the cross-examiner. Confidence is not arrogance. The witness is watching you. The power of emotional discipline in cross-examination, not taking the witness answers personal, even if when they respond very provocatively. Then the psychology of silence and the psychology of control, and many more. Chapter 3 has to do with know your case before you touch the witness, with subtopic as the case comes before the witness, the 5 questions you must answer before cross-examination. Then identify the real issues in the case theory, the difference between facts you need and facts you want. Build a case map, know what the witness can and cannot prove, etc. Chapter 4 consists of the cross-examination plan, which of course under here, you get to know about what is a cross-examination plan. Begin with one objective, the one sentence objective test, divide the cross-examination into themes, the difference between a theme and a fact, arrange the questions in logical sequence, the power of the question groups, start with the safest facts, build towards the important point, and so on and so forth. Chapter 5 has the topic, control the witness before the witness controls you, with subtopic as what does it mean to control a witness, use short and focused questions, do not allow the witness to give a speech, control the subject matter, use the court's authority professionally, then the danger of arguing for control, etc. Chapter 6, the power of the leading question, why leading questions are powerful. The leading question is not an argument, one fact at a time. So let me skip to chapter 9. We have under chapter 9, preliminary questions in cross-examination. For example, the identity and qualification of the witness to establish a firm background before you continue your question in cross-examination. Then chapter 10 has to do with practical cross-examination questions for criminal defense lawyer. Here you will see the eyewitness identification and reliability, the informant stroke co-defendant's complicity. You have police investigators stroke leading detective, prior inconsistent statement, impeachment, etc. Then chapter 11, we have the practical cross-examination questions for criminal prosecution lawyer. Here you can be able to look at establishing bias, relationship, and interest, attacking the opportunity to observe, exposing cognitive impairment and distraction. Then chapter 12, we have practical cross-examination questions for commercial contract dispute. Here you will have questions for a question for against. For example, establishing contract validity and sophistication, eliminating alleged verbal modification, etc. Chapter 13 focuses on practical examination, cross-examination questions for claimant counsel on medical negligence and malpractice cases. Here also you see establishing the standards of care and duties, failure to diagnose and delay in treatment, chatty documentation and communication failure, surgical errors and lack of informed consent, uh, challenging the defense paid expert witness, etc. You have chapter 14, focusing on practical cross-examination questions for claimants counsel on medical negligence, part 2. Of course, we have chapter 15 here, which is practical cross-examination questions for defense counsel on medical negligence and malpractice cases. Here you can see establishing the bounds of medical judgment, defending the standard of care and clinical discretion. Of course, here breaking the chain of causation. Then pay a particular attention to this chapter 16. It deals with 50 questions that must not be asked in cross-examination, the golden rules behind the questions. And of course, this very chapter can be used to formulate your examination in chief questions. But the question here must not be asked during cross-examination. You know that this book is essentially in respect of trial advocacy with particular reference to cross-examination. So order your copy by clicking the link below and buy it on seller. Thank you very much and God bless.